welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something big, how AI is fundamentally changing the way we work.
Hmm.
It's not just about new tools, it's
Hmm.
it's deeper than that. It's changing roles, goals, everything.
Absolutely. It really is. And if you think back, success at work used to be all about knowing how to do specific things.
Right, like building that perfect dashboard or knowing the code inside out.
Exactly. Or crafting that killer presentation. Those
Yep.
how-to skills, being great at executing them, that was the key differentiator. That was your value.
Yeah, we definitely built careers on being the doers. But now, well, now AI can handle a lot of that execution part.
Mm-hmm. Generating code, drafting slides, running analyses, even, suggesting strategies. It's a massive shift.
It really is a game changer, like you said. Which brings us to the core question for this deep dive, I think. If AI is doing more of the how, what becomes really valuable? And how does that change, well, everything? Our work, how we learn.
That's the heart of it. Where do we focus now?
Okay, so let's try and unpack that.
Yeah.
The first major thing seems to be this move away from personally doing every single task towards guiding things, directing.
Precisely. It's a shift from execution to direction. Or maybe orchestration is a better word. You're guiding AI, you're guiding human collaborators too.
Orchestration, I like that. So what skills does that demand? It sounds different.
It is. It requires a new set of essential skills, like really understanding how to frame the right problems to begin with. That's critical.
Okay.
And being crystal clear about the outcomes you're aiming for. Then, and this is key, getting good at prompting the AI effectively, guiding it to generate useful solutions.
So it's less about knowing the answer yourself and more about knowing the right question to ask the AI.
In many ways, yes. And then once the AI gives you something back,
You can't just take it at face value.
no, absolutely not. Your skill then becomes evaluating that output critically, refining it, synthesizing it maybe with other inputs to get to something truly impactful.
Right, so delegation becomes this superpower almost. But not just delegating to people, delegating to AI too.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And think about what that means for leadership.
Yeah.
It shifts the focus. Less about managing the tiny details of execution and more about setting that clear vision, providing strategic direction,
Yeah.
and then iterating, constantly refining based on what the AI and the team bring back.
Okay, that makes sense. Vision, clarity, iteration. So if that's how work is changing, this must have huge implications for learning and development, right? How we train people.
Oh, absolutely. Huge implications. Traditional learning programs, well, they've often focused very heavily on those how-to skills we talked about.
Sure, learning the software, following the process step by step.
Exactly. Tool usage, process adherence, those kinds of step-by-step procedures. And look, some foundational knowledge is still important, obviously. But that intense focus just on the execution steps, that's becoming less critical, less of a differentiator because AI can do more and more of that journey itself.
Right, because the AI can handle those steps if you prompt it correctly.
Yeah.
So what should we be learning then? What moves up the list?
The focus really has to shift to higher order skills, critical thinking, for one, deep problem-solving abilities. Those become absolutely central.
Okay.
And developing a kind of systems thinking approach, understanding how all the pieces connect, plus more of a design mindset. How do you design the solution or the process itself?
And what about working with the AI? That seems like a skill in itself.
Definitely. Effective human-in-the-loop collaboration. That's crucial. It's not just firing off prompts. It's understanding the AI, prompting skillfully, knowing how and when to refine the output. It's a partnership.
And making good decisions within that new workflow, I suppose.
Precisely. Sound decision-making when AI is part of the equation.
Can we make this more concrete? Like, what does this look like in actual jobs?
Yeah, good idea. Let's take a few real-world examples. Think about product managers.
Okay. Historically, they spent a ton of time on super detailed product requirements documents, right? PRDs and wireframes.
A ton of time, meticulously crafting every detail. Now, the shift is more towards guiding an AI to generate initial flows or concepts.
Ah, so the AI does the first draft.
Kind of. And then the PM's role is more about taking those AI-generated ideas, quickly validating them with actual users, and then iterating really fast based on that feedback. The speed increases dramatically.
Okay, faster iteration.
Yeah.
What about, say, instructional designers? People who create training.
Similar shift. Instead of manually building every single piece of a course from scratch.
Which can take ages.
Right. They can collaborate with AI to prototype different learning activities or content formats very quickly. This frees them up to focus on the bigger picture, the pedagogy, ensuring it's inclusive, making sure it actually leads to learning.
Got it. More focus on the learning design, less on the manual construction. How about data analysts? Let's talk about AI there.
Yeah, big changes. They used to spend, honestly, a huge chunk of their time just cleaning and preparing data. Tedious, but necessary.
The data wrangling part.
Exactly. Now,
Right.
they can prompt AI to do a lot of that initial prep work. So their value shifts towards interpreting the insights the AI surfaces, figuring out the so what, and translating that into actionable strategies for the business. More strategic thinking.
Okay, moving up the value chain there too. And marketers.
Same story, different context. Instead of writing every email, every ad variation, testing everything manually from zero.
Which is a massive job.
It is. Now they can orchestrate campaigns with AI, use AI to generate initial drafts, variations, but then the marketer steps in to refine the tone, ensure the messaging is spot on, keep it aligned with the brand voice. They become the conductor, the brand guardian.
So it's like the core job, product management, design, analysis, marketing, it's still there, but how you do it, the skills you lean on most heavily, that's what's changing.
That's exactly it. The how is transforming, which naturally makes you think, how do we measure if our learning and development is even working in this new world?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Because if the skills are different, the way we evaluate success must be different too.
It has to be. You know, for years, the Kirkpatrick model has been pretty much the standard for evaluating training effectiveness.
Right, the 4 levels. Reaction, learning, behavior, results.
Mm-hmm. But we really need to sort of update our thinking about what each level means in this AI era. We need to adapt the model.
Okay, let's try that. Level 1, reaction. That was always about, did people like the training? Did they find it useful? Simple satisfaction.
Yeah, pretty basic. The new level 1 reaction, I think, should be more about, did they feel engaged in the process with the AI? Did they feel confident trying to prompt the AI? Did they feel like the AI actually empowered them to explore more options? It's a different kind of reaction.
Oh, okay. More about their feeling of agency and confidence working with the AI, not just passively receiving info. Makes sense. What about level 2, learning? Old way was? Do they understand it? Can they remember it?
Right, knowledge retention.
The new level 2 learning needs to assess. Can they actually frame problems effectively for AI? Can they guide the AI with good prompts? Can they evaluate the output critically? Can they iterate on those outputs to get better solutions? It's about demonstrating those new collaborative skills.
So less about remembering facts, more about applying these new cognitive skills needed for the AI partnership. Got it. Level 3, behavior. Traditionally, that was, are they actually doing the thing back on the job, following the procedure they learned?
Applying it. The new level 3 behavior is, I think, broader. Can they orchestrate these AI human workflows effectively? Are they collaborating well with AI agents as part of the team? Are they delegating strategically to both humans and AI? Can they synthesize information from different sources, including AI output? It's about managing this new blended way of working.
That sounds much more dynamic, yeah. Orchestrating, collaborating, delegating to AI. Okay, finally, level 4, results. The bottom line, old way. Did productivity go up? Did errors go down? Did we hit the goal? Standard business metrics, often tied to individual or team execution. The new level 4 results needs to capture the bigger impact. Are we achieving outcomes faster because of AI? Can we scale personalized experiences in ways we couldn't before? Are we seeing transformed user engagement thanks to AI? Is the team's overall capacity amplified?
Wow, okay, so the old metrics were very much focused on individual efficiency and task completion.
Pretty much.
But these new metrics sound like they're about systems thinking, strategic impact, leveraging AI for bigger, broader wins.
That's the core difference, yes. And it circles back to the big picture. We have to rethink what we learn, less step by step, more design, delegation, direction. And how we measure that, learning less about just remembering stuff, more about the ability to orchestrate real results with AI.
So the ultimate goal shifts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about helping teams do the work, but helping them achieve significant outcomes. Using AI to boost creativity, clarity, confidence.
Yeah.
Guiding the solutions, essentially.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to guide the solutions, because really the future belongs to those who can think critically, who can delegate smartly, including to AI, and who can genuinely partner with AI to get results faster, better, and, smarter.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the fundamental shift we've been exploring is moving from being primarily a doer of tasks to becoming more of a director of solutions. And AI is the powerful new partner in making that happen.
That sums it up nicely. Which leaves us, and you listening, with a really important question to mull over. In a world where AI increasingly handles the how, What are the truly human capabilities that will become most valuable? And maybe more importantly, how are you going to actively cultivate those skills in yourself and in your teams to really thrive?